Hello folks, this is Larry McKinney. I'm with the Hickman County Arts and Craft Guild in Centerville, Tennessee. What we're going to do today, I'm going to give you a short class in how to do magnetic jewelry. Don't know how many of you have done this before, but I've been doing it for about 15 years and it is very interesting. It's not really a challenge. It's something you can start doing at home anytime, and the more you do it, the better you get. Now let me give you a little background on magnets. Magnetic therapy has been going on for over 3,000 years. The Egyptians were using this many years ago, as well as the Chinese. They found that magnets have a certain amount of power to them that will decrease the amount of pain you're having in certain parts of your body. Now the jewelry, like they used back then, and what you see on the market now from thousands of places, it works in certain areas of your body, and that's why you have different pieces.
There it goes. Okay.
Alright. And the use of the magnets, magnetic therapy has been going on, like I said, for over 3,000 years. You go to a hospital or an outpatient facility, the doctor's going to run some tests on you. Depending on what that test is, a lot of times it's going to be something to do with magnets. The magnets that they use for hospital use are extremely powerful. Not enough to hurt you, but you'll know you've been there. The magnets that we use in the jewelry, they're not near that powerful, not supposed to be, don't want them to be all that powerful. But it's a lot of fun making these. I have showed several people how to do them. Because I've been doing it for over 15 years. The reason I started, I broke this wrist a couple of times over the years, and sometimes it really gives me a fit. Because I'm at the age now where arthritis really starts to set in and aggravate the fire out of me. And when it starts doing that, I get my bracelet, throw that thing up here, go about my business, and the pain goes away. I can wear it 3 or 4 hours, and next thing you know, I forget I even got it on, I don't have any pain, don't remember why I put it on to start with. The only reason I'm not wearing it today is because I'm doing more magnets, and with the magnetic jewelry, you'll see once you start, if you got magnets in your pan over here, and you reach over to get one, you're going to end up with half a dozen stuck on your bracelet. So I just leave it off, lay it off to the side somewhere and come back and get it later. Now there are a few do's and don'ts about using magnetic jewelry, and it depends on the individual. It is very highly recommended that anybody that has any kind of medical device attached to their body, a pacemaker, defibrillator, whatever, do not wear magnets, because it will damage what you're wearing. It will damage that medical equipment. Also, ladies, if you're pregnant, thinking about being pregnant, ask your doctor first before you start wearing the magnets. Slim possibility, but always check with your doctor first. The one good thing about magnets is that they look good and they are very helpful with pain. So I wear mine for my wrist. My wife wears one for her wrist and her thumb. I wear a necklace occasionally because of my neck and shoulders. I don't wear the anklets because I don't have any problem with my ankles and feet hurting. I'm just getting too fat for my feet to hold me up. Now, getting started with these things is very simple. Just a few things that you need to get started with that you'll find will be extremely helpful. More so just trying to pick out your own stuff. What do I need? Do I need this? Do I need that? So here's what you need to get. First off, get you an aluminum pan. Just a little lightweight cookie sheet will be fine. Now why do you want one like that? An aluminum pan. These are magnets, and as you can see, you can turn these things upside down. Where are they going? They ain't going nowhere. If you had a regular plastic tray down here or just using on a desk like we're sitting here on now, if you took one of these magnetic beads and dropped it on that desk, it bounces. Where it goes, you don't know. Drop it on the pan, stays on the pan. So be sure to get you a little cookie sheet pan. You can get these at the dollar store, Family Dollar, the Dollar Tree, doesn't matter. It don't have to be anything fancy or expensive. Second thing you gotta have is something to cut the wire with. And the wire, with that later. But what you need to use to cut this wire, something very special, very unique. They're called fingernail clippers. They work a whole lot better than trying to use a pocket knife or a pair of scissors or anything of that nature. And the reason I say that is simply because you want these cut very smoothly. One little snap and it's cut. And if you run your fingers across the end of it, you'll see there's no big bulge in it where it's been cut like with a pair of scissors. That makes it a whole lot easier to deal with going through these magnets. Other thing you need to use, you need to get you a ruler. And what I do on mine, I take it to my dollar pan I got at Dollar Tree, I think it was. I lay it inside an inch. I've got a 12-inch board here to use. The reason you want that is because you need to know how long to make the bracelet. How long are you making it? If somebody comes in and says, I want a bracelet made that's 8 inches long. Okay, that's fine. Now you can simply take the wire and lay it up here and go out an inch longer than whatever they want it made, or whatever you're going to try to make one at. If you want an 8-inch bracelet, pull your wire out 9 inches. And then simply a lighter. Now I use the regular old cigarette lighters. Yeah, I smoke. Everybody knows that. I shouldn't be smoking, but I do anyway. A lighter like this works just fine on this. You can also get the longer lighters, like you use to light a fireplace with, a grill, and I do make some small ones about yay long. They're trigger operated, so the flame is out here instead of being right here in your hand. And what you want to do with this wire, this is a polymer coated plastic beading wire. Looks like fishing line. And I have a lot of people come up and look at it and say, well, that's nothing but fishing line. No, it's not. This wire is made for beading. And it is strong, very strong. As far as closest thing to this as fishing line, this is in the same rating as a 50-pound fishing line. That's rated 50 pounds. So you got it measured out, you know how long you're gonna make it. 8 inches with an extra inch at least on the end of it. You simply take the lighter, take the line, stick up the lighter, let it burn just a little. Just want enough to heat it up to where it will ball up on the end. Give it about 15 seconds or so. Run your hand across it, you see it's going to cool off. It's solid. And now you need a magnet to make the class with. The ones I use, these are 6 by 6 millimeter, and they are strong. If you'll notice on the magnet itself, you got kind of big, and if you look at the other end of it, same thing on both of them. This hole is considerably smaller, and that's for a reason. come back over and take your wire. And always start it through the big hole. Just stick it in there and it'll go all the way through it. And when you get down to the end, where you made that ball, on the end of this, it stops. Now you thinking, well, what keeps it from just pulling on through there? That wire, like I said, is very strong. And if you can snatch one up 3 or 4 times like that off the pan and it don't give away, then you're in good shape. Now, what about the pans or the beads? What are you going to use for beading? We're going to make this a simple one today. We're going to start out with what I call a teardrop. And we're going to mix them with let's go with some rice beads. They're called rice beads because they look like a big piece of rice. And if you want some color in the middle of it, we've got different beads to make different colors. This is just a very small sample of extra pieces that you can get to go with the magnets. These are not magnetic. These are plastic beads that you can buy most anywhere. These are the ones that you need to concentrate on the most, are the magnetics. But we can take the red beads, the little red spacers, and get those over here ready to go. And if you're keeping trays around close to you like this, it's best if you close them, because it's real easy to take an arm and knock that thing off the table and forget your pan up here. They're all over the floor. Ask me how I know. So now we've got the wire started, got magnet on one end, and we're going to start putting some beads on. So let's take a rice bead first. Just stick it through the one end, and down she goes. Take another one. And I usually try to start out with 2 or 3 of the same thing on the end. It's just my preference. Once you get started, you can make them however you want to. Then I would take a red spacer, drop it in there, and drop it in. And then turn around and take another teardrop and put it in, but I put it in the opposite way. That way they meet up at the same end. You don't have one looking like, well, they do stick together. You don't have them all running in the same direction and looking like that really doesn't match up there, not in my opinion. And since I'm a teacher, my opinion counts today. So just simply take the bead, turn it around, and put them in where the same end butts up together. Come right back and put another red spacer in there. Back with your rice beads. And put those back on. Put 2 of those on there. And then we go back to the red. And we'll do another teardrop over here. Then we go back to the rice beads again. Now you have to keep in mind you're getting down short on wire here. And if you're trying to make this 8 inches, sometimes you have to take and lay it down on the pan. Start out down at the very end of the pan where it'll be off at 0. In my case, I've done it so many times, I just start out at 1 and know I've got to go down an extra inch on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches. I need 2 more inches to go to make it 8-inch bracelet. And believe it or not, I think that's just about it right there. So if we go 2 more of these, no, I'm off. I'm wrong. Sorry. That's my bad. But that's all right. We can always change that. We'll take another rice bead and put on. And then we're going to come take the magnet. Now remember, I said put the big end, put the hole with the big end, is where the wire goes through. On the first magnet only. If you put that through the big hole to start with over here, and then on this other end you did the same thing, you put it on the big hole, then you're going to have the big hole coming this way and one coming this way. And they're not going to match up. These are north and south poles on these magnets, and you can't match up like the same pole. So now I've got 4 beads down here on this end, and I'm going to take and put the magnet back on. I'm going to take my lighter. Now it's got an awful lot of line left over up here. But remember, I said I cut it I made the beads too short. It's okay, you can correct that problem. Just simply up here and reheat this line. Just enough to get a little ball up on the end of it. Give it about 15 seconds before you touch it. And you see I didn't, the thing slipped on me. So I cut off just another little chunk. And that's another reason you want to leave extra line. Okay, that one is stuck. Now let's go back down to the other end. I've got 4 beads on this end, I got 3 on this end. We got to add 1 on here. So we're going to pull the line out, cut off the end, slide the magnet off, pick up another rice bead, stick it back on there. And that should be enough right there. And you're going to come back and put the magnet back on, but put it through the small hole. Still got a lot of line left over up here. It's really too much to try to heat without overheating it and ruining the line. This wire will burn if you heat it up too long. And there again, it's something that I've done myself on occasion. I try not to. It's just something you have to learn. If you hold the wire up, start burning it, heating it up, then it's going to burn and burn on down to nothing. Then you wasted a piece of wire. I take the end of the pan, get up on the ridge like this, and stretch the bracelet out to where the end with all the excess wire is hanging over the side. I'll take my clippers and get up just about 1/4 of an inch from the end, and then I cut it. Now that leaves you enough wire that you can heat up without any problem. And there again, don't overheat it, don't let it run all the way back up inside the magnet while it's burning, because it's just going to wad up and fall apart. So once you've done that, and there's your bracelet. There are many different styles of beads and colors. Just depending on where you get yours at will make a difference in what you can do with them. This one is very similar to that. This one is with twist beads and the turquoise spacers in it. Now this one, these are all magnetic beads here, all the way around. There's no plastic in these. See, they will just pick up and go. The magnetic beads you can get in a lot of different colors, different styles. This one has the rainbow spacers in it, and they make these rainbow beads in about a dozen different styles. Like the round ones, they've got them in the twist. They've got them in the rice beads and 2 or 3 others. This one is in what they call drums, and I got the rainbow spacers in on this one too. People say, well, what keeps that thing together? Just the magnet? Yeah. Because these magnets are strong. They actually have what they call a gauge rating. That's the standard magnetic rating for magnets. These are all what they rate at 5,000 gauge, which is about the most powerful you can get for magnetic jewelry. And if you just try to pull these apart by hand like this, you'll think, well, why did I do that? There is a way to get these on and off without any kind of problem. best way to separate them, just bend it over. Just simply take your hands, bend the thing out, and it'll pop right off of there. Now, I'll show you one. I'm not going to do one of these for you today. It'll take too long. This is a double wire, double string, and it is made out of the rice beads and the 10 millimeter spacers, along with moon dust rocks. That's the brown. These are moon dust, and they go with a lot of different pieces. Some people look at these and go, "Gosh, that looks like it's awful hard to do." They're not hard to do. You just need to practice on it a little bit, and you can do one of these. Takes you about twice as long to do a single. Takes twice as many pieces, but the principle is all the same. You lay out a pattern that you want, and then figure out how many pieces you need to do it with. Just put it together. Now here's the interesting thing about the doubles or the triples, if you get to making those, because they are exceptionally strong. These you have to take and twist them to get them off there. And this one's too short for my arm, but anyway, best way to do it when somebody's wearing one, if you get it on yourself or if it's on a friend and they want you to take it off, take a finger and stick it underneath the magnets, underneath the clasp, and then take a fingernail. You take your thumbnail and stick it between them and pop it off. I see a lot of people that come into our booths at the craft fairs that we do, and they'll look at one of these things and say, "Oh, I think I can do that," and they'll grab a bracelet right here. Here's your magnets, and they'll grab them out here on the beading and start pulling, and they'll pull. Now, how do you get it apart? If they pull too hard, what's going to happen? They're going to break that wire. As strong as it is, it's going to be broken. It's not break proof. And then we got beads going every which way. So just take and twist it, and it'll come apart. Like I said, when you're taking it off your arm, take a finger and put underneath it. Take a fingernail and push down on top, and you raise it up with your finger on the bottom and pull it off. Don't take you 3 or 4 times to do that, and you'll know what I'm talking about. They make triples. You see, you got 3 sets of holes in these magnets here, and they are bigger than the doubles. But you got 3 holes here that are a little component that is small. That's one of the most important things, is remembering how to put the wire on the magnets. Always put your lead wire, your first one, goes through the big hole, and that gets you started. That leaves you enough room out here. It's big enough so you can pull it back out if you need to, and then resize it. And then when you do the other one on the other end, on your completed end, you got all your beads here. You got this magnet on there. You're fine. That's done. And you're gonna do this end up here. Then you want to come to the big hole side and be sure it's pointing out, away from the beads. Run it up through there, lot of people like to have a necklace made of these. Making a necklace is really easy. You only need one string to do that with, and extra wire. Most of the necklaces that I've made, they run between 19 and 22 inches. I've made some shorter, and I've made 2 or 3 a lot longer. Made one for a fellow up in Bellevue a few years ago. His mother wanted one for him. He was a football player at college. And when I saw him, I knew why he played football. The guy's about this wide and about yonder tall. And I had made one for her, and she was no small lady. She wasn't fat, but she was just big built. And I made a necklace for her, and it was 22 inches. And she wanted me to make one for her son. I asked her if she wanted to be the same size. She said, no, bigger. I made him one, I think it was 27 inches. And when I saw him, I knew why. Put that necklace on him, and where normally like a 22 inch comes down on a person about to here, that 27 inch on him was up here. His neck was like a tree stump. But he liked it, it fit. He said, I'll take it. And got the whole family, what I used to call being magnetized. Had her husband, had her son, and they all wore the magnets every day. And that's something else about wearing these magnets. A lot of people say, well, how much good are they going to do me if I'm getting it for the therapeutic value of it? With the magnets, you can put these on in the morning and leave them on all day. You can go to bed at night and leave them on, sleep in it. Won't hurt anything. I leave mine on when I'm really hurting bad in my wrist. I might put it on today, and I won't take it off again until, let's see, they take it off till Friday. And I'll take it off when I was first starting to wear these things. I'd take it off once a week, and I'd clean it real good. You can take an old white t-shirt or something like that, and just snap these things apart and clean off the end of these magnets. Rub them down real good with it. That gets the body oil off of it, sweat, dirt, whatever. And you can take these and put them in the shower. Take a shower with them on, it won't hurt them. Ladies, you can wash dishes with these, it won't hurt it. The only thing I've seen to really try to aggravate the magnets, I had a customer down in Shelbyville, and she was a beautician. And she used all that beautician chemicals and stuff that they use, and it would ruin her bracelets, but it'd take about a year. And she'd come back to me again and say, Larry, I need some more bracelets. I done ruined these. She'd show me what she had, and they looked terrible. Get the right numbers and go back and make her some more. But they're pretty much foolproof. You can't damage these things hardly. Not to say that they won't break, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they're totally unbreakable, because they will break, but you have to get really rough with them. I've taken these things, when we used to do the flea market in Nashville, I've taken these beads. People come by and ask me and say, well, won't they break? If you drop them on the floor, will they break? I said, well, let's find out. I just take it and drop them. Take a whole bracelet, drop it on the floor. No, they don't break, unless you get really rough with it. Now, if you want to sit there and pound on them, then yeah, it's going to break it. Men that wear these, I do suggest you don't wear them if you are working on a car or around any kind of mechanical equipment, anything that's metal. That's why I don't wear mine today, because I'm working around these magnets. I used to work on cars. That was my living for about 25 years. I wouldn't wear it when I was doing that. And since I've retired, I still fool with cars a little bit here and there, but I do not wear my bracelet. Because you get around the metal parts on a car, and you're going to be laying your arms up on it or banging against something over here with it. And if you do it just right, you will pop those magnets loose. And then where's it gonna go? Hope you find it real soon, but if you don't, you lost it. And hope it's not around something major in the car. So just be careful with these things. That's the main thing. Be careful with them. Don't have to treat them like gold, but just be careful with them when you do use them and when you are wearing them, so that they'll take care of you and you take care of them. There are 2 or 3 places that I get my beads from, and I've been asked this I don't know how many times. Where do I get the magnetic beads? I don't know if you can get these at Hobby Lobby or not. I don't ever go to Hobby Lobby. They haven't been there in ages. I know they got other kind of beads. They got all the regular beading stuff that you can use. My wife used to get a lot of hers from there. But now we both order from other places online, so we can see what we're looking at. That way, get it shipped right to us. It's cheaper than buying stuff at the store anyway. One place I found that had some beads, and they may have maybe enough magnetic beads to do 1 bracelet, and they wanted $7 or $8 for the package. Well, these, you see I've got the colors and pieces mixed up, plus the magnets, which are separate, and I sell these for $10. So why would I want to go out and spend 7 or 8 to get just enough beads to make 1 magnet, the 1 bracelet? Some places are less expensive than what the others are. It depends on how you order and what you order. One place that I do most of my business with, I can order 1 string of the teardrop, I can order 1 string of the rice beads, or I could order 15 to 20 strings of each one of them. I'll mix and match. I'll end up ordering from anywhere from 5 to 12 different types of magnetic beads at a time. And I'll get a couple strings of this, a couple strings of this one, get them all put together, and they ship it to me in a box. It comes from the post office. If I order over $300 at a time, shipping is free. Anything under $300, shipping is $10. That's not much when you start looking at how many beads you're going to get and how much you can make with these things. Another place that I order from, their prices are more expensive to begin with. They will sell you 1 string, like for $4. But if you buy 2 strings, or if you buy 3 to 5 strings, the price goes down to $3 a string. If you buy 15 strings, you get 15 of them for $2 1/4. I don't need 15 strings of 1 bead. That's just too many. So I do my business at one place most all the time. Another reason I deal with them, it's a family-owned business. They're in Missouri. I've talked to them several times. Super nice people. And their price is good. And their quality of beads is good too. One reason I order from them, most of their beads come out of Mexico or Central America. A lot of other places, their beads come out of China. China beads, they're cheaper. And when you get them and lay them out and look at the difference between those and the ones that come in from Mexico, you see why they're cheaper. At least I can, because I've done this so long now. I just prefer to get, get my beads from Mexico and Central America, and shipping on them, it doesn't take very long to get. I could order today. Today's Tuesday. If I order today from my place in Missouri, I would have the order here either Saturday or Monday. Other places I've ordered from, I could order it this afternoon, Tuesday, and I might get it by next Thursday. Sometimes it doesn't make a difference to me how long it takes. Other times it does, because I need them, and I need them right now. The quality of the beads, they list them as good quality, and then they have a AAA quality. The AAA quality is obviously the best, because you won't find any scratches and cut places on them. They're all very nice and even. The quality of it is good. The magnetic power on them is good. And there are so many different styles. Like I said, you got teardrops, you got the rice beads, you got round beads, all kinds of them. So you really need to go online and look at these places and see what you want to work with. The place I do business with is called magneticbeads.net. It's www.magneticbeads.net. Like I said, they're in Branson, Missouri. People there are nice. We've talked to each other several times. If I send in an order, maybe they're short a few beads, then they'll call me and say, Larry, I don't have enough of this particular bead to send you. Can we substitute for something else? And he'll tell me what he's got. And I say, yes, okay, go ahead and do that this time. So I get my order. It may not be exactly what I wanted, but at least they told me before time. And believe me, that can make a big difference when you're working with stuff like this. The other place that I buy from that wants to sell in multiple strings is www.stateside Bead Supply Company. beadsupply.com in Washington State. They're good folks. I haven't talked to them per se, but what I have ordered from them has come in like you said it would. It's all good quality, and there again, they get most of theirs from Mexico and Central America. I've looked at some on eBay, Amazon. I look to see where they come from. If it says China, I just keep on scrolling. I just don't want them. Anything else I need to tell you about today? Now we mixed on this one. We mixed a rice bead, a teardrop bead, and a red spacer. I've mixed a couple of different colors on most all of these. You can mix and match however you want to. It's totally up to you. And when you get in to look at the difference, how many different beads there are, you may say, well, I could put a whole string of those together, make 7 or 8 different colors. True, you can. But sometimes that looks a little bit on the childish side. So be careful. Something that you might look pretty dang good, you start showing it to other people and say, well, who made that? Susie? Susie's your 6-year-old.